given you, I wouldn't trade them for the world. Even through all the trials and tribulations, we've come out on top. And while these have been some of the most challenging years of our lives, they have also been some of the most fundamental. Today, we're gathered here to honor the time and commitment that we've put into the last 12 years of our education. We have a lot to celebrate today, so thank you all for coming and enjoy the rest of our commencement.
Superintendent of Schools, members of the school board, administrators, faculty, staff, parents, grandparents, guardians, guests, and candidates to the graduating class. Welcome to the Raytown South High School 2020 commencement ceremony. I'd like to give a special thanks to senior counselors, Ms. Erica Miller, Ms. Tara Bishop, Dr. Mark Bickelhoff, Registrar Darcy Sparks, College and Career Counselor Lauren Fant, Kathy Thompson, Nick Adkins, and Principal Secretary Patricia Hudgens for all their hard work and dedication to make our commencement a success. I'd also like to introduce the South High administrative team, Ms. Samantha Strabel and Mr. Shunton Hammond. It's my pleasure to introduce our platform guests. Dr. Alan Markley, please stand. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Brian Huff, Assistant Superintendent Ms. Kim Belaski, Mr. Rick Moore, School Board President, Ms. Beth Plank, and Ms. Amy Tittle. Thank you. Staff at South High are dedicated professionals. One thing you will leave here tonight with is the commitment your staff had to our school mission. At this time, please help me recognize all of our preschool, elementary, middle school, and high school faculty and staff. Each year, we recognize the students that rank in the top 10 academically and honor them at graduation. Ethan McIntyre, Seth King, Donovan Cusick, Rebecca Nunn, Nash Overfield, Chancellor Moore, Dominic Litton, Jordan Phillips, Hopetui Janice, and Beverly Mora Barrera. Eventually, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandparents, teachers, guardians will no longer be there to remind you of meetings, homework, when to wake up, or when to come home at night. No longer can you say, it got lost. You must learn to say, I lost it. You can no longer hear a report on the news and turn away. This country belongs as much to you as it does any adult here tonight. Freedom and independence have many benefits, but they have greater responsibilities. The most important words I can say to the class of 2020 is this. After all you have been through, and with today's current events, you must become an informed citizen and vote. Congratulations, work hard, be a good person, do the right thing. It was my privilege being your principal. Please take care of yourself and your families. Thank you. That is all. I'd like to share some other outstanding accomplishments. We have 46 seniors who've received state and national awards. Last year, there were 23. I researched back 22 years, and this sets the record. What's even more amazing is this class never reached its true potential due to spring sports and other academic activities being canceled due to the COVID-19 virus. I believe this true number could have made the record unbreakable. Seniors, when I call your name, please stand, remain standing, and hold your applause until all names are read. Rayvon Carter, All-State Football. Sierra Corley, All-State State Champion Track. Deschanee Witherspoon, All-State Track. Abel Menares, All-State Track and State Band. Detravion Bagby, All-State Track. Mark Can, All-State Basketball 2 times and State Champion. Kobe Campbell, All-State Basketball and State Champion. Desmond McKinney, All-State Basketball and State Champion. Keitez Simmons, State Champion Basketball. DQ Hart, State Champion Basketball. Adam Lanier, State Champion Basketball. Tavion Turner, State Champion Basketball. Gabe Kuchlow, State Champion Basketball. Luis Roca Gonzalez, State Biliteracy. Vaughn Foreman, State Biliteracy. Sheely Zamorano, State Biliteracy. Zuzeth Gonzalez Guyana, State Biliteracy. Manuel Rivera Antunez, State Biliteracy. Braden Tafanero, State Wrestling. Kyle Simmons, State DECA. Destiny Silvers, State DECA. Taylor Jakes, State Band. Grace Allen, State Band. Hopetui Janice, Girls State. Linda Clark, Girls State. Seth King, Boys State and Bright Flight. Sophia Trude, State Champion Lighting Design. Daniel McNeil, State FCCLA. Hannah West, State FCCLA. Zoe Cox, State FCCLA. Kira Pascal, State FCCLA. Leah Jackson, State FCCLA. Jennifer Inyuribe, Girls State and State FCCLA. Jamara Cameron, State and National FCCLA. Martha Welwa, State and National FCCLA. Frank Lopez, State DECA and State FBLA. Nash Overfield, National Scholar Ball and Bright Flight. Ethan McIntyre, National Scholar Bowl and Bright Flight. Rebecca Nunn, Girls State, State Choir, and Academic All-State Track. Shelby Hill, State FCCLA, National FCCLA, and Academic All-American Debate. Chancellor Moore, Boys State, 3 times Academic All-State Baseball and Navy ROTC Scholarship. Catherine Miller, State Champion, Educators Rising and National Qualifier. Justice Thompson, State and National Finalist, FBLA, and National Speech and Debate, top 30 in the nation. Derek Porter, State FCCLA, State DECA, State FBLA, State Wrestling, and National Speech and Debate, top 30 in the nation. Samantha Parvin, State DECA, State FBLA, State FCCLA, Academic All-American Debate, National Speech and Debate, top 8 in the nation. Donovan Cusick, Boys State, Missouri Scholars 100 Honorable Mention, Missouri Scholars Academy, Bright Flight, State FBLA, State Biliteracy, State Debate, and Academic All-American Debate. Be seated. Okay, Dominic.
If I had $1 for every time I heard the phrase, and I quote, "Have you finished your homework yet?" throughout my school years, I would have had enough money to buy a house, a car, and pay off any student loans I ever would have gotten. There was not a week that went by where these words were not uttered. Not that it was a bad thing, because I'm pretty forgetful on certain things. Even so, that did not make things any less annoying. Every day it would be the exact same thing, same words, no matter what. On school days, on the weekends, on my off days, sometimes even on vacation. I would try to hold back on comments and simply answer a yes or a no, Although I wish the number of times were less, I do realize that many things would not have been turned in otherwise if not for those words. I was, and still am, pretty forgetful once things pile up. If I let more than 3 classes build up, I would start to shut down and push those assignments from my mind. Instead, I would find other things to pass the time, just so I would not have to do that work. After a few hours, I would be able to block everything what I was supposed to do from my mind. But it seemed that every time I was able to do that, here would come my mom, right on time, asking if I had finished my work. I'd groan, say no, and then I would catch an earful for not focusing on my work. I knew she was right, but I'd still have an attitude with her. After the spring break was over and we all found ourselves still out of school, I found my mom to say these words less and less. I'd still hear them every few days, but it was no longer a consistent thing. Maybe it was brought up with an occasional phone call, but other than that, I didn't really hear it. At first, I was happy, since all I would do is annoy me when I heard them. And then as the days went by, I found myself waiting to hear them. As the end of our senior year came closer and closer, what that meant finally hit me. The end of my school days were coming to a close. It feels bittersweet knowing that this is now behind us, but also knowing that a chapter in our life has closed. I know none of us expected something like this when we went through this school year to happen, and how much damage it would do. I do know, however, that I am proud to be with all of you to celebrate this occasion despite all that. There are a few people that I can't possibly begin to thank enough for all that they have done for me throughout my school years. To my parents, who without them, I would not have been able to push myself as far as I have. To all of the friends that I've made throughout my school years, you all made these years extremely bearable. To all the teachers I had, all I can really say is thank you and sorry. I will forever be grateful for the memories that I have made here, both the good and the bad. Make sure to enjoy this moment the best that you can. Go to a loved one or a good friend and say that you did it. Know that you will no longer have to face the troubles of high school. You will no longer have to plan your school route in order to beat the traffic. You will no longer have to speed walk through the halls simply because others do not know how to walk and talk. You will no longer have to hear the snippets of the exact same songs every single day. You will no longer have to sit in your seat after the bell simply because the teacher decided they wanted to keep you just a bit longer. You are free now to go and open that new chapter in your life. I wish you all the luck in the world in whatever you might do. And for those of you going to college, be sure to do your homework.
Good job, John.
Greetings, friends and family. My name is Hopetri Janice, and I am honored to have been given this opportunity to speak on behalf of my fellow classmates. Famous writer Haruki Murakami once said, "Once again, life had a lesson to teach me. It takes years to build up, it takes moments to destroy." I think we can all agree that this quote embodies the last couple of months of our senior year perfectly. Now, I know how much of your time the coronavirus already took from you, so bear with me. We have spent years looking forward to what we thought would be the climax of our high school careers, only to see it thwarted overnight. I used to obsess over what my last day of high school would look like, so believe me when I say that I was mildly disappointed when I spent it in my bed after binge watching Parks and Rec for the 3rd time. However, in the midst of all this craziness, we finally did it. So congratulations, class of 2020, and I send my deepest condolences to anyone struggling during this trying time. As we close this chapter in our life, a new and slightly intimidating one is looming over us. I feel like this is when I would offer you words of encouragement or advice, but spoiler alert, I have no clue what I'm doing and I'm completely terrified. The future is terrifying. Our world as we know it is crashing down like a house of cards. Things we used to take for granted are now unavailable. Cities are rioting, our country is divided, and justice is what seems to be a foreign concept. I mean, come on, we are in the middle of a pandemic. And this isn't even the half of it. We live in very uncertain times. In fact, I think the only thing that is certain is that it will only get worse. In order to build a new and better society, the old and corrupt one must come to an end. And I can tell you now, it will not be pretty. Now, this may seem dark and pessimistic, but I truly believe that our current system is so broken that it is beyond repair. However, the situation is not entirely hopeless. We have the amazing opportunity to actually do something meaningful and worthwhile. This new world can be yours for the taking, but the question remains, are you up for the task? Or would you rather sit pretty and be complacent with the entanglement we call America? Now, I'm not saying that change will come overnight, not in the least. It will be a painful and exhausting process, but there is honor and respect in fortitude. We can no longer sit around and wait for things to get better. It is each and every one of our duties to actively participate in the betterment of our society. I know that this can be extremely daunting, but all we can do is take it one day at a time and try our best. So I'll leave you all with this quote by Dr. Seuss. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Thank you.
Enjoy yourself.
I wanted to start with my favorite joke, and one the cross-country and debate teams know far too well. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Now, what's large, brown, and sticky? El Palo Alto, or the tall stick. El Palo Alto is over 1,000 years old, over 100 feet tall, has 3 trunks, and is a Californian state landmark. This ever-famous tree belongs to the species Sequoia sempervirens, more commonly known as the Californian coastal redwood. The tallest trees in the world are these Californian coastal redwoods. The most fascinating thing about these trees, however, is not their height, but their incredible resilience and strength as a community. About this tree, you might assume 2 things. 1, it's going to burn really, really well in a forest fire. And 2, its roots must go really deep. However, both of these statements are wrong. The fire actually makes them stronger. It hardens their bark. While the surrounding plants and trees wither, they flourish. And their roots, they don't go very deep at all. Rather, they reach out and intertwine to other trees and hold on and keep each other up together, making each other stronger. I think that this Raytown South graduating class shares much in common with these trees. We do stand tall and strong, but most importantly, we are so much more than what meets the eye. We are more than what someone would assume. As our world seems to be constantly burning around us, we are only strengthened by the flames. And it is evident that our roots are intertwined, that while we are all remarkable as individuals, what we've accomplished and withstood as a class is so much greater. Now, I'd like to shift my focus from our community at Raytown South to our community in the city of Raytown. That is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I, like many of you, have grown up here my entire life. And while we all go our separate ways, Raytown will always be home. Far too often I hear people outside of Raytown, and even those within, speaking poorly of not just our city, but our community. This deeply disturbs me as I truly, genuinely love Raytown, its people, and its schools. Thus, it is up to us, as a generation, to change the narrative surrounding Raytown. So whether you're staying or leaving, I challenge you to actively think about how you represent yourself, our school, and our city. It is my hope that someday soon we could all raise our children in the town we call home, where people recognize our community for what it really is, a strong, unique, vibrant, and loving community. Yet it is up to us to change the conversation surrounding Raytown. I encourage each and every one of you to challenge others when they speak poorly of Raytown, but more importantly, find out why they do so. Then work to change whatever is causing those negative beliefs. We can turn the tides. I'd like to end with this. A quote from 11-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer Phil Jackson. "You're only a success at the moment you perform a successful act. You have to do it again. Today marks an incredible day in our journey, a remarkable milestone. Today we celebrate our successes, capping off our last 13 years of school. But as we begin the next chapter of our lives, continue to strive for more of these successes. This is not the end of the road." Focused on the second half of Jackson's quote, "You have to do it again." Discover what that means to you and do it. Thank you all for an incredible 4 years.
Assuming the leadership of the Raytown C2 School District is our Superintendent, Dr. Alan Markley. Through his leadership, the students and teachers have benefited from a focus on self-discipline, safety, and academic achievement. It's my honor to introduce him at this time and welcome him to the podium to present the class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Overfelt. Welcome. As Superintendent of Schools, I am honored to finally be here with the Raytown South High School class of 2020, of which I am very proud. These students were just in the first grade when I began my superintendency in Raytown. I've had the pleasure of watching this class grow and bloom and excel in so many different ways. They're an amazing group of academics, athletes, actors, musicians, speakers, thinkers, workers, and self-starters above all else. Graduation is a time of reflection for those graduating, for the teachers and staff at the school, and for our community as a whole. Cardinals, you have made us proud. As you enter the next phase of your lives, please remember where you came from and the people that have loved and supported you through the years. I ask that you do some things once you leave here today, even if it takes a lifetime to complete. Please, work to help people look at the soul and character of a human being before they cast judgment upon them, of who they think they are and where they come from. Work to find ways to end the violence in our schools, in our homes, and in our communities. Everyone has the right to make a difference. Find ways to give them that chance. Be that lightning rod of change. Now, when you leave here, there'll come a time when you'll have the honor to become husbands, wives, mothers, and fathers. Perform these tasks with love and compassion. Give your children the opportunities given to you by those who are here with us today. Now, again, we live in a time of political divide in this country and around the world. Equality, abortion, gun control, and immigration reform seem to catch the headlines and leave our heads spinning. Your public school experience was not designed to teach you to take sides based on emotion. Rather, use those experiences to determine where you will take your own stand. Do not fall into the trap of letting others think for you. Finally, despite all the suffering that surrounds us, leave here today knowing that the future is bright. Everything you want or want to be will be there for the taking. Now, there will be obstacles in times of adversity. When those times come, remember what you have learned. Keep reaching for the light and lift those up around you. Learn from the triumphs and failures of today, so tomorrow will always have the hope of a sunrise and a sunset. There is nothing you cannot do. The great Franklin Delano Roosevelt may have said it best. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Keep the needle moving forward, my friends, on all of your limits, and the world will be a better place because everyone here believes in you and what you have to offer. Thank you for allowing us to serve you. Now it's your time to go out and serve others. Congratulations. The young men and women before you have met the requirements of the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and of the Raytown School District. By the virtue of the power vested in me as Superintendent of Schools, I declare these Raytown South High School seniors eligible to receive their diplomas. Friends and families, I hereby present the class to you, the sons and daughters of Raytown South High School 2020.
As Mr. Adkins begins to line up our students, I want to share some history of South High. First graduating class was in 1964 with 347 students. Smallest class was in 1991 with 239. Largest class, 1973 with 637. Since 1964, South High has graduated 21,022 students. The class of 2020 is the 57th class with 252 students. There have been 11 state championships, which include 1 volleyball, 5 basketball, and 5 track and cross country. There have been 41 Final Four appearances in 12 varsity sports. There have been 11 Final Fours in basketball and 22 Final Fours in track and cross country. This class has received over $662,180 in scholarships for their first year in post-secondary education. The potential scholarships for 4 years total $2.65 million. Senior candidates and staff, prepare to receive your diplomas. There are 2 groups at school tonight who have earned especially and deserve your respect. The staff in the audience and the senior class as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma. Please show your respect and consideration of the people next to you as the seniors walk across the stage. Thank you.
Dominic Litton. Nash Overfield. Beverly Morrow Barrera. Seth King. Donovan Cusick. Hopechuin Janice. Chancellor Moore. Ethan McIntyre. Rebecca Nunn. Jordan Phillips. Sistas Ayanacho. Dynasty Silas. Nia Abdullah. Marquise Thornton. Martha Juawale.
Khalila Abdullah.
Alyssa Kalhoff.
Christopher Aguilera Rivas.
Crystal Kolb.
Lavandis Alcantar.
Destiny Barnes.
Tiembre Anderson.
Mike Barrera.
Sachi Anderson. Alexis Anderson.
Mixa Barraza.
Grace Allen.
Austin Baxter.
Cameron Bacon.
Elijah Lilly.
Datravion Bagby.
Elena Martin.
Allie Banks.
Taya Mock.
Brandon Barclay.
Kiefer Maynard.
Joshua Bell.
Adam Lanier.
Julian Bell.
Nia Lewis.
Aristides Benitez Hernandez.
Frank Lopez.
Jasmine Bertrand.
Jaquez Long.
Cypress Boyd.
Jacqueline Macias Molina.
Levi Box.
Hakeem Manning.
Anaya Botley.
Malik McGee Polson.
Malia Bay.
Ivory McGuire.
Lauren Boynton.
Diamond Nicholson.
Elizabeth Balance.
Martha Rivera.
Kaylee Branch.
Jada Myers.
Dakota Bronson.
Sky Murphy.
Abrion Brown.
Desmond McKinney.
Javion Brown.
Daniel McNeil.
Whitney Burnett.
Catherine Miller.
Marlia Byers.
Angie Melgar.
Antonio Bird.
Abel Menarez.
Jamira Cameron.
Federico Menarez.
Kobe Campbell.
Zane Moore.
Mark Can.
Carrington Motley.
Madison Capel Didi.
Giovanni Orozco.
Elijah Cole.
Jennifer Orozco.
Brandon Chacon.
Caitlin Osgood.
Jacob Castleman.
Derek Porter.
Elena Cole.
Samantha Harvin.
Nairi Coleman.
Kiera Pascal.
Denham Clayton.
Anna Paxson.
Linda Clark.
Felicity Paxton.
Sean Collins.
Juan Reyes.
Sierra Corley.
Jalen Porter.
Anna Cuesta.
Jada Pippin.
Darius Cummings.
Caitlin Pearson.
Gabriel Ketchler.
Michaela Peeler.
Zoria Davis.
A.G. Powell.
Joseph DeFreitas.
Lawrence Price.
Herschel Dennison.
Jovan Ray.
Titus Dillard.
Saran Primers.
Jade Echeverry.
Angelia Riddell.
Jennifer Enribe.
Brittany Riddell.
Keon Fletcher.
Robert Rice.
Vaughn Foreman.
Kasia Ridley.
Kariana Foster.
Joseph Rebesel.
Montana Gomez.
Keyville Robinson.
Zake George.
Luis Rocha.
Kendall Hall.
Michael Rodriguez.
You want me to say your other name too? What, Alicia? Yeah. Okay. Alicia Smith Gray.
Aaron Rowe.
Maya Gray.
Tiaja Rufus.
David Gonzalez Gonzalez.
Tessa Ryle.
Zuzith Gonzalez Gaona.
Shania Sasser.
Sean Gray.
Braden Saul.
Jalen Green.
Destiny Silvers.
Nicholas Griffin.
Simone Shields.
Antonio Gunnels.
Andre Shelley.
Arion Hall.
Hannah Searcy.
Kenyasha Hansen.
Kitez Simmons.
Dakivion Hart.
Kylie Simmons.
Jaquez Hill.
Jeon Sladen Brown.
Rashawn Hill.
Erica Smalls.
Shelby Hill.
Brianna Stewart.
Anaya Hoskins.
Diamond Snow.
Raquel Houston Bowie.
Nichelle Sterling.
Taraya Hollett Tolbert.
Tashiana Stewart.
Emma Huber.
Michael Straws.
Craig Ingram.
Zarina Subido.
Darion Ingram.
Justice Thompson.
Cedric Jackson.
Tucker Tiemeyer.
Joshua Jackson.
Braden Tofiono.
Leah Jackson.
Antonio Torres Jimenez.
Stacia Jackson.
Alonso Torres Jimenez.
Jaleesh Jones.
Samara Trude.
Andre Johnson.
Sophia Trude.
Taylor Jakes.
Tavane Turner.
Siajane Johnson.
Alexa Vega Ledesma.
Dakota Johnson.
Jeremiah Warren.
Gabrielle Johnson. Gabriel Johnson. So sorry, buddy. Gabriel.
Hannah
Gabriel.
West.
I'm not even looking. Isaiah Johnson.
Chase Taylor.
Kobe Johnson.
Terry Taylor.
Malachi Johnson.
Yakima Whitfield.
Yasmin Johnson.
Bianca Wilmisher.
Jackway Jones.
Azandria Wilson Hancock.
Janie Jones.
Dejanay Witherspoon.
Zoe Jones.
Jalen what? Oh, thank you. Jalen Wiley. Sheely Zamorano Hernandez. Harrison Wolf. Aaron Zeiler. Jace Tenorio. Leo Woodruff. Alexis Mitchell. Rayana Hill.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Graduation is a time for reflection, a chance to look back and see all the good that has transpired in the last 4 years of high school. We thought maybe we would not get to celebrate our accomplishments like past classes before us, but the time has come. Our hard work has finally paid off and everyone should be proud of what they have done. We should remember to cherish these moments and join the company of our friends that support us and help us get through these tough times. Hold on to the joyful moments of high school and life lessons that each person has learned along the way. Be proud of the work that you have done when you look at your diploma. Seniors, whenever you're feeling down about the year not being what you expected, I urge you to take a step back and realize we have successfully completed this chapter of our lives. And if that is not enough, remember we won the Super Bowl. I want to thank all my family, friends, and teachers to help me get to this point. I would not be at this point in my life if it were not for the help I received along the way. It is truly an honor to speak in front of you right now, and an honor to get to say, class of 2020, you can now turn your tassels from right to left. Thank you.